Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are strapping ourselves in for a look into the engine room of logistics.
That's a good way to put it.
We're focusing on a term that, it gets thrown around everywhere, from huge corporate boardrooms right down to, well, dusty depot offices.
Operational excellence.
It's operational excellence, or OE. We're looking at what this actually means when you're moving heavy metal down the road in the, let's face it, incredibly demanding trucking and transport business.
Yeah, it's a high-stakes world.
So our mission today is really to get past the jargon. We've dug into the source material to find out what OE truly means beyond that vague idea of, running smoothly.
Right.
And maybe more importantly, how it provides a real foundational strategy for genuine profitability and resilience. It's about finding those hidden leverage points in a really tough sector.
And that's essential for you, the listener, to grasp. Operational excellence isn't some magic wand you wave when diesel prices spike or when your driver turnover suddenly hits a new peak.
It's not a quick fix.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It's a systematic, process-driven approach. It's designed to turn those daily headaches, I'm talking rising fuel costs, unexpected maintenance, volatile cash flow, into actual opportunities for stability and for, well, powerful, sustainable growth.
So it shifts the whole business model.
Fundamentally, it moves the business from reaction to design.
Exactly. The core idea we found across all the materials is that OE is about achieving absolute control, clarity, and consistency in every single function of your operation.
Every single one.
The central idea, and I really like the way they put this, is ensuring that every trip, every load, and every rand is working toward a stronger, more profitable business.
That level of financial scrutiny, that's the hallmark. It doesn't matter what currency you're using.
Okay, so let's start where we always do, with the core definition. The source material is very clear on this. Operational excellence is not just a fancy synonym for aggressive cost cutting.
No, it's much deeper than that.
Yeah, I mean, efficiency matters, of course, but the true goal is building a stronger, fundamentally resilient company that performs consistently, even when the market conditions are, throwing curveballs.
Things like global supply chain issues or local infrastructure problems.
Exactly.
And what's fascinating is the definition they really anchor it to. They say OE is about doing the right things the right way every time.
Every time. That repetition is key.
It is. That focus on consistency is what forms the foundation for sustainability. I mean, think about it. Without that baseline of predictable performance, if every single delivery is some kind of heroic effort, how can you ever reliably scale?
Or promise quality to your major client.
You can't. You're just trading consistency for chaos.
And the scope of this is just huge. It requires strong processes, disciplined systems, and, this is critical, a culture of accountability.
A pervasive one.
It means ensuring every single part of the operation, from the first call to the customer, to the scheduling software, the driver management, all the way to that final proof of delivery.
All of it has to work toward that common, unified goal.
Delivering on time, on budget, and crucially without waste, both time and materials.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, a lot of businesses in transport operate reactively.
They're firefighters.
Exactly. They wait for a problem to pop up, a breakdown, a late delivery, an unexpected bill, and then they fight the fire. Operational excellence is that strategic shift.
From firefighting to forward planning.
From reactive to proactive. But, and this is a critical point the sources make, you can't plan where you're going if you don't know precisely where you are right now.
Okay, so that's the starting point.
That's why OE starts with a forensic understanding of your financials. If you don't have clear visibility into specific, granular financial metrics, the sources are blunt. You're essentially driving blind.
And this goes way beyond just knowing your monthly revenue.
Oh, miles beyond. We're talking about detailed operational math.
We are. The kind of detail that turns business decisions from, hopeful guesses into validated strategies. The research really zeroed in on 3 crucial numbers.
3 numbers that need to be tracked religiously, not just monthly, but continuously.
Okay, so first up, your true cost per kilometer. Not what you estimate it is.
But the verifiable true costs.
Yeah.
Fuel, maintenance schedules, depreciation, labor, all of it.
Right.
Second is your operating margin. This is so important because it separates you from just generating revenue. It tells you how much money you actually make from every sale after you account for all your operational costs.
The fixed and the variable stuff.
Things like depreciation, rent, overhead. It really shows you the health of your core business.
And number 3.
Third is your absolute break-even point. This is the dollar amount or the number of kilometers you have to run just to cover all your costs. If you don't know this number, you can't survive a slow month without burning through your capital.
Knowing these three numbers, it just unlocks immense decision-making power. Let's take that cost per kilometer example. As you said, knowing the true cost is the only way a business can set rates that actually reflect genuine profitability, instead of just, caving to market pressure.
Right. If your route costs you R18 per kilometer to run, and you accept a load at R17?
You're knowingly subsidizing your customer's business with your own money.
Absolutely. And that's just the start. Let's talk about the other two, because that's where the strategic shift really happens, the operating margin. That guides your expansion and your efficiency efforts.
How so?
Well, if your margin is thin, you know immediately you need to focus on internal processes or maybe modernizing your fleet. If your margin is healthy, you know you have the room to strategically invest in new routes or better technology.
It tells you where to put your time and your capital?
Exactly. And the break-even point, that's your ultimate risk management tool. Knowing exactly what volume you need to cover your expenses lets you pivot during slow seasons.
You're not panicking.
Right. You might take a minimally profitable load during a lull just to cover that break-even number. You protect your capital reserves instead of taking a huge loss just to keep the trucks moving.
So you move from hoping to knowing, from guesses to fact-based control.
That's the core of it.
So, okay, if that financial rigor is the foundation, here's where it gets really practical for me. If I start tracking those numbers and they flag a problem, what does a healthy operation actually look like on the ground?
Yeah, what are the symptoms of success?
Exactly. How do you know if you're actually achieving OE? The research gives 5 clear, observable signs that you can look for in your own business.
These are the physical manifestations of that financial discipline we were just talking about, the outcomes you can see and feel in the business.
So what's the first one?
First, we look at fleet efficiency. This means your assets, your trucks, they spend significantly more time earning you revenue.
And way less time just sitting idle in the yard.
Or waiting for dispatch, or stuck under some unexpected repair. In an OE environment, maintenance is predictive, not reactive. That shows your internal systems are working.
Okay, that's number 1. What's second?
Second is predictable cash flow. This is tied directly to those metrics we just discussed. It means you have tight, disciplined control over your expenses.
And you know when money is coming in and going out.
Critically, yes. You know exactly when and where. Surprises in cash flow are, well, they're the death knell of small transport businesses. OE just eliminates those dramatic swings.
So number 3 must be about the people.
It is. The third sign is engaged and loyal drivers. Your drivers are the face and the engine of your entire operation.
And if they're not happy, nobody's happy.
Exactly. In an operation that lacks OE, you see really high turnover. Drivers feel disconnected, they constantly face frustrating process failures. But when they feel valued, when they understand the company's standards, and when they take genuine pride in representing the brand,
Performance and retention just shoot up.
immediately, it shows your systems are actually there to support your people.
Okay, 4th sign.
Fourth, data guides decisions. This isn't just about collecting information. It's about using the right numbers, those costs per kilometer, those margins, to make real choices.
So you're making performance-improving decisions based on verifiable info.
Not just on a subjective gut feel. If you hear someone say, well, we've always done it this way, that's a huge red flag that data is not driving the bus.
Good point. And the final sign.
The final sign is the external one, the ultimate proof of consistency, customer trust. Your customers rely on your consistent reliability. They know that when they hand over their loads, they're in capable hands.
Because the operational machine behind the scenes is disciplined.
It's consistent. They aren't constantly checking tracking numbers because they actually trust the system to work.
So if those are the signs of success, the next logical question is the how-to. If I want to move my business from that painful, firefighting mode to disciplined forward planning, what are the actual steps?
Right, what's the roadmap?
Let's look at the 5-step roadmap the sources provide for implementation.
And this is a structured roadmap for you to apply, but it does require real commitment. It's not about making 5 huge changes overnight.
It's about embedding 5 new habits.
Precisely. The first essential strategy, the foundation, is measure what matters.
We keep coming back to this.
Because you have to. You must start by tracking your true operating costs down to the penny. The source material emphasizes that so many transporters drastically underestimate the real cost of each trip. They miss hidden costs, like unexpected downtime or administrative overhead.
You can't optimize what you haven't accurately measured.
You can't.
Okay, so once you have the numbers, what's next? The second step is crucial for turning that data into results. Standardize your processes.
Yes. This means creating clear, repeatable systems for every critical function. We're talking dispatching, maintenance schedules, driver communication, even invoicing.
Consistency is the key here.
It is the true key. It reduces errors, it saves time, and it builds reliability across the whole business.
Now, I have to ask a critical question here, something I was thinking about from the source material. Doesn't overstandardization lead to inflexibility? What happens when you get those one-off urgent customer needs, the high-priority rush jobs?
That is a vital distinction, and it's a great question. The research suggests that OE is about standardizing the inputs and the response framework, not rigidly standardizing every single outcome.
Okay, can you break that down?
Sure. You standardize the pre-trip inspection checklist. You standardize the repair procedure and the communication protocol. So when an emergency does happen, your team isn't trying to figure out how to respond.
They're just executing a practiced standard procedure.
Exactly. Standardization actually frees up their mental energy to deal with the unique parts of that specific problem.
That makes perfect sense. It's a disciplined approach that allows for rapid, reliable pivots. Okay, moving on to the third step,
The third step, invest in your people.
which we touched on with the driver loyalty sign.
Right. You have to recognize that your drivers, your mechanics, your dispatchers, they are the actual backbone of your operation. Investing in thorough training, and not just compliance training, but real skills development.
Plus recognition programs, fair treatment.
All of it. It directly improves your performance metrics and, vitally, your driver retention rates. When turnover is high, you are constantly bleeding efficiency and experience. High retention is a direct measure of your operational stability.
Okay, so step 4 brings in the hardware, leveraging technology wisely.
Yes. Utilizing tools like telematics, fleet management software, digital reporting, all of it, to automate the collection of the data points we talked about earlier.
But, and this really stood out to me in the research, there's a crucial caution here.
There is.
It says, use technology to provide real-time insights for better decisions, not just to overwhelm your team with data.
And that is so important. The tool serves the process, not the other way around. If you install a telematics system, but you don't have a standardized process to act on the fuel efficiency reports it generates.
You've just bought a very fancy data collector.
Not an operational improvement tool.
Yeah.
Exactly. Technology has to be integrated into those standardized processes.
Okay, so that brings us to the fifth and final step.
The fifth step makes sure that OE extends beyond logistics into pure financial health. Focus on cash flow discipline.
This means managing your working capital really tightly.
Tightly. It often involves accelerating your invoicing cycles, optimizing payment terms with customers, and being absolutely ruthless about expense control.
So that this discipline helps the business stay ahead during the tough times.
Yes, and it also creates the ability to strategically reinvest when genuine opportunities come along. It's the financial resilience that supports the operational resilience.
This raises an important question, and it really brings us back to the reality on the ground. Why does committing to this detailed roadmap matter more right now than ever before in the transport sector?
Well, just look at the demands of the current operating environment. The challenges the sources cited are very specific and, frankly, relentless.
Like what?
Perpetually rising diesel prices, for one. The significant costs of tolls. The strain of power, instability like load shedding that disrupts depot operations and communication. And, of course, the perpetually tight margins that customers impose.
And all these factors just compound the daily operational pressure, don't they?
They do. A single inefficient route, one breakdown that could have been prevented with predictive maintenance or even a minor administrative error, it now has an outsized impact on your bottom line.
So that's the real implication here. In this environment, operational excellence isn't a nice-to-have luxury anymore.
Not at all. It's what fundamentally separates the sustainable transport businesses, the ones built to last, from those that eventually just run out of road.
Because they can't absorb the cumulative cost of that inconsistency.
And that inefficiency. If you're feeling like your business is working incredibly hard, you're clocking up kilometers, but you're just not gaining traction or seeing consistent profit.
That's a sign.
The research suggests that is often the clearest sign that your systems and your processes need that closer, disciplined look. That's the prompt to start the journey toward OE.
We've covered a lot of ground today. We've gone from a high-level definition right down to tactical implementation. Operational excellence provides that structured approach that delivers control, clarity, and consistency.
And it helps transport businesses move definitively from the stress of constant firefighting.
To the confidence of forward planning.
And when you achieve that consistency, you're not just, improving some internal checklists. You are actively protecting your business from market volatility. You're strengthening your reputation with customers by being reliably on time.
And you're creating that solid foundation, both financial and operational, that you need for long-term success and growth.
That's it.
That's the key takeaway. Now, here is the final provocative thought for you to consider as we wrap up this deep dive. Operational excellence isn't about achieving some theoretical perfection. It's about committing to measurable progress.
Progress, not perfection.
Exactly. So if you already know your true cost per kilometer, what is the single smallest, most immediate process improvement you can commit to daily? Maybe it's adjusting one client's rate by just 2% this week, moving away from that gut feel and toward that verified financial fact.
One small step.
One small data-driven step. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.